joining us for another segment of Walk into Wellness. My name is Alice Savivas, and joining me this morning is Lynette Sprawls and Donna Morales. And we are going to share a little today about grounding or earthing. And it's an interesting concept, and we want you to experience that with us today. So the 3 points that we're going to touch on, first being defining what grounding or earthing means. Second would be EFT, emotional freedom technique, to help release emotions. And we're going to be teaching some yoga poses coupled with a little meditation. So I want to open up the floor with what grounding might mean to Donna and Lynette. So Donna, why don't you share with us what your thoughts on grounding?
Thanks, Alice. I believe that grounding is feeling peace within myself, with my emotions, my physical, regardless of what's going on around me. Sometimes women are a little bit more emotional. Yes. And I think, though, that that's okay. And to be able to control those emotions, to be able to act and react accordingly, and to be peaceful and happy with yourself.
People that pick up the emotions and the energy in the surroundings around them. For those people that do pick up those emotions and they're not grounded, they tend to feel stressed and overwhelmed. They can't really get a lot done in their life, and they just feel like things are kind of hectic around them. And that's because they're picking up the negative energies and the busyness and rushing and everything of everyone around them. For me, when I feel grounded, I feel centered in my life, and I'm able to enjoy the present moment. You hear so many people talk about the importance of the present moment and being in the moment and being able to enjoy it. And that's what that really means, is connecting yourself. The earth is made up of energy. So when we ground ourselves to the earth, we actually pick up that energetic vibe which calms us from the earth. You can kind of think of it as a house that you use a grounding wire to pick up the excess energy. Think about grounding yourself and plugging yourself into the earth so that you are grounded and able to join that energy. Think back a long time ago, Alice. What did people do a lot in outside? How did they work in the outside environments?
Well, folks would, cultivate their own, food, and survival was about connecting with the earth and, the freedom to be outside and to just digest, the fresh air and connecting with the earth. It really, I think, naturally brought a calming effect. And people back in the day, I don't know how far back we want to go, but we're less stressed than our day and age. We're just stimulated by so much.
We are. So many electronics, so many people. We have so much going on our phones, and just so many things coming at us. And many of us spend all day in an office complex, and we never actually go out and get our hands in the earth to be able to make that connection. What you said about cultivating your own food, think about how grounding that must have been to have put the food into the earth, to cultivate it and help it grow, and then to actually pull it out of the earth and eat it. I mean, that was so centering for our bodies. So it is something we no longer get.
Well, the earth, a lot of research has been done, and you can do that on your own. But there's, a lot of free and mobile electrons, electromagnetic energy in the earth, in the oceans. So whenever you connect, especially bare feet, to the earth, you're actually drawing in that energy, and there's a natural process that takes place, and there's a natural antioxidant within our earth and within the salt water and the ions in the water. So notice when you're outside, and for instance, if you're camping, day by day, as you spend more time on the earth, you just feel that much more balanced, that much more just calm and rested in your mind and body. So
Alice, is that why
yeah.
I feel so great when I go to the beach?
The
Hey,
perfect
my-
reason to go to the beach.
there you go.
And
We
I
all
dig
feel-
my feet into the sand and feel the
Absolutely.
breeze.
Absolutely.
And anytime you're feeling anxious and overwhelmed and feel like you can't get things done in life, if we could always go to the beach, that'd be the perfect solution. But if we can't, just going outside and finding some time to be in nature and, do different things to get yourself to where you can connect to that energy.
Well, I think we intuitively are drawn to the earth. I know for the longest time, I can just remember whenever I felt anxious, kind of frazzled, I would naturally just run outside, kick off my shoes, and dig my feet in the earth. And I didn't realize that intuitively for me was just grounding me, and it was getting me centered, and it was reducing my anxiety. So, I mean, there's so many ways to de-stress, but just know scientifically when we connect with the earth, there's really a process that happens when we connect physically with the earth. So let's go on to talking about oils. Pure essential oils carry a high vibration because there's a high concentration of oxygen. So when we inhale them, when we ingest them, and making sure that they're at that grade where they are supplemental, and usually on the bottle it will state that. So you never want to ingest an oil that doesn't give those supplemental facts on the back. And as we allow those oils to enter into our bloodstream, it raises our vibration, and especially the oils that are grounding oils I'd like to share. One would be myrrh. That's an oil. It comes from a small tree, and there's a sap that comes out of that tree, and it turns to a really thick, hard resin called myrrh. And it's used in medicines. It's used in the beauty industry. It's great for your skin, but it's a very grounding oil, and it really helps to center the mind. There's a few oils.
There
Tons.
are, yeah.
Go
like
ahead and share, Lynette.
cedar would be a great one, sandalwood, patchouli. All of those actually have parts of those plants inside of them.
How about some yoga poses? Let's get on our feet. Let's take off our shoes since we're talking about grounding and earthing, and really feel our feet. It'd be great if we were actually standing outside and our toes were in the soil. So a couple poses that we can practice. One, tree pose. This is a popular pose that I like to teach in class, but I want you to bring your left foot in. It might be right at the inner ankle of that standing leg, or you might come into the inner calf or inner thigh. So once you're there, you're going to feel the energy of that left foot pressing in. So you want to make sure that that standing leg, pull the energy in, zip up your belly like you're wearing a tight pair of jeans, like we are right now, right? And it's okay if you come out of it. The goal is not the asana, the pose itself. It's the process of getting there and getting to know your body and finding the balance, grounding mentally into the pose. It's a balancing pose. These are the branches of your tree. Just visualize your arms as the branches of your tree. And you can lengthen and grow by reaching your arms high. And if you're going to move around to help maintain that balance, that's okay. Make sure you're breathing too. Maybe your hands are at your heart center. And maybe you're smiling and giggling and having fun with it. It's
If you can't
okay.
hold that pose, like she's having the struggle, isn't there another way you can put your foot, Alice, that would help her with some stability?
Yeah, a little bit lower. So it's kind of like a kickstand. Maybe your toes are touching the floor. You want to get the inner sole of your foot in towards the ankle. But the idea is not to close the body out here. We want to open, bring that knee out and feel your core muscles engage. You want to feel that strong leg as a support. You
Now
can
I
even
do
use
my
the
turn.
wall. You can hold on to the wall. Use that as a balancing support.
All right, thank
All
you.
right.
Interesting.
Okay. It's great when you can be outside doing that pose. Doing it on the beach, even better.
That would be great.
Marvelous.
Let's go to the beach.
That's something I think everyone should experience is yoga on the beach. Okay, another pose, Tadasana. This is one of my favorites. This is mountain pose, a very active pose, and it's a standing pose. You can really be doing this anywhere. You can be standing in the grocery line. You can be just, at the bus stop with your kids, and be in a yoga pose. So it's a soft bend at the knees. We're not in a pose where we're really rigid in our body, but we're feeling our muscles. So there's a soft bend in the knees. Once you get that soft bend in the knees, you're going to feel the muscles engage all around your joints. You're going to feel like your hip joints are nice and anchored. You're going to feel that in your core. Fingertips. So think about grounding and earthing are reaching down towards the earth. You feel your shoulders go down, and then you feel the space in between your ears. Beautiful. Now there's a string that I'm pulling at the crown of your head, and it's an imaginary string, and I just want you to imagine that imaginary string pulling you tall.
Can I move, or do you want me to keep?
No, you want to stay
Okay.
anchored in that pose. Maybe close your eyes because you have both feet on the ground. So this is a great opportunity where you can actually do a little meditation. Meditate on the breath. Really breathe into the deepest part of the belly, your diaphragm. Feel that belly expand on the inhale. Feel it surrender on the exhale. There's a softening. There's a surrendering happening on the exhale.
It's great. I felt like I was part of the ground.
You can feel like you're on top of a mountain
Yes.
in your mountain pose. Okay. So there's so much we can touch on with grounding. But this is a really interesting technique, and I've tried it before, and Lynette will share it with us now.
I'd like to just talk about how you can use EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, to kind of ground yourself when you're in those moments of feeling overwhelmed, and maybe you're not able to run out and get out into the nature and be in a natural environment. This is just another technique that you can use on yourself, or you can use it anywhere, which is why it's such a valuable thing to do. And Donna, you said you had never heard of this technique, correct?
No,
okay. So it's EFT, which is also considered tapping. So what you're doing is you're tapping on different energy points on your body. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to release any negative stuck energy patterns within yourself. So what we're going to do is I'll show you. So just follow me as I tap on different points on your body.
Okay.
What you want to do is, this is called our karate chop point. We always want to start here. You can chop with 2 fingers, 3 fingers, whatever you want to do, whatever feels comfortable to you.
Okay.
And we always say our setup statement 3 times. And the setup statement is always...
Does it matter what hand?
Doesn't matter whichever hand, whichever feels most comfortable to you. The setup statement will always be, even though, insert what the issue is you want to work on, and then end it with saying, I love and accept myself. And you want to say that 3 times as you're tapping on this karate chop point. Then after that, we'll do a round of the points on our body. And as you're doing the round of the points on your body, you just kind of want to let it be a movie screen kind of going in your mind as far as what words you say. There are no correct words to say. You just want to talk about the experience that you're having. Say you're out in traffic and someone cut you off and you want to tap about that because you're anxious and upset about it. What you would do is you would just replay that moment in your mind as you're saying different things. But to kind of connect with what we're talking about today, I would like to talk about, here during the fall season, we get so anxious because there's so much to get done and it feels very overwhelming. So I just want to teach an easy tapping round that you can do to kind of alleviate some of that anxiety that you're having about getting everything accomplished. So let's start off on our karate chop point, and we're going to tap. If you want, you can say the words aloud, but you can easily just say them in your mind, and I'll say them out loud, and you can just follow along.
Okay.
So while we're tapping, we're going to say, even though I feel very anxious and overwhelmed because I have so much to get accomplished, I love and accept myself. Even though I feel so anxious and overwhelmed because I have so much to accomplish, I love and accept myself. Even though I feel so anxious and overwhelmed because I have so much to accomplish, I love and accept myself. Now we're going to start on doing an entire round. So just follow me. The first point is right here on the outside of your eyebrow. And then you're just going to say statements that are true. I have so much to prepare for the holidays. Outside of the eye. I have so many gifts I need to purchase. My house is such a mess. The next one is just right here under the eye. The house is a mess, and I have so much cleaning I need to do. Under the nose, probably a great one for all of us. The kids keep the house a mess, and I can never keep it clean. On the chin, I have so many responsibilities at work, and I have to balance my work life with my home life. The next one is right here, and you can use both hands or you can use one hand, whatever you want. This is a great energy point that just gives you energy. You would just say another fact that comes up with you. Or you can just keep repeating the same ones. I feel so anxious because my list of things to do is so incredibly long. The next point is right here under the arm. So we'll just tap right here under the arm. And again, we're just continuing to go through the points that we feel anxious about. So, again, bringing the holidays up. I have a lot of family coming in town, and I have to negotiate all that. That's probably one a lot of people have this time of the year. The last point on that round will be the top of the head, and we always call this the monkey pose because we all look like monkeys as we're tapping on that. And you can just, again, say whatever it is that's bothering you, and you just want to keep bringing up these different points. That is a full round. So what you want to do is you want to kind of measure your anxiety when you start, or measure whatever the issue is. Give it a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the most overwhelming. After you do a round, kind of check back in with yourself and see how you feel. Like, did that help dissipate that energy, and do you feel a little bit more comfortable and calmer about the issue? If not, go ahead and do another round. What I often find is once you do a round on an issue, you'll actually uncover some things that you didn't realize were there. So as you're saying the things as you're going through your point, you're like, oh, I didn't realize that issue played into what I'm feeling. So it will kind of help you uncover some of the issues that you're having. And then on the third round, as you go through, a fourth round, however many rounds you need, then try to bring in positive things. So let's do a round of positives. So again, tapping on the eyebrow. I want this fall to be calm. And again, moving to the outside of the eye. This year, I want to actually be present under the eye. I want to enjoy the fall and all of the holiday seasons without feeling so overwhelmed. Under the nose, this time I'm going to get everything accomplished, and it's not going to be overwhelming for me. This year, I'm going to be so peaceful and happy and able to really, truly enjoy my family. This year, I'm going to make sure that this is just the best holiday season ever, and that I enjoy the change and transition of the time of year and actually embrace all of that. This year, I'm really going to enjoy the family. I'm going to make new memories that I've never made before, and then finish up with the top of our head. I know I'm capable of making these changes, and I'm excited to bring this new energy into my life. So you can continue to do as many positive rounds as you need to. Does that feel good?
I feel good.
Good. There you go. Holiday's done.
That is very grounding, tapping on those acupressure points. Is that what
It's
they
similar
are?
to acupressure.
Okay.
It's kind of a combination of acupressure and chakra energy. So it's just the energies that in your body where things get stuck.
Nice. So,
What about
Any-
meditating? Like meditation? Can you ladies talk about type of meditation? Sometimes I know that when I'm sleeping, I have to concentrate. I'll feel my body tightening up, and then I'll have to say, okay, relax. Like talking to myself, relax now. And then I'll just, start thinking about my muscles and relaxing my muscles. I don't know if that would be considered meditation or not, but it's more of a relaxation exercise. But what about meditating?
well, that's exactly it. Anytime you, it's bring your focus, bring your attention into any direction. I mean, it's the art of focus. So if you're focusing on, relaxing one muscle at a time, if you're, doing your dishes and you're just, in that moment, that's a meditation. It's a repetitive focus on what you're doing. So we could meditate right now if you'd like.
I would love to.
Okay. So let's go ahead and practice our meditation. I'm going to do a guided visual meditation. So before we get started, I think breathing is really important. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, getting a full extension of that breath. When you're inhaling, let it reach down into the bowl of your belly. So feel your belly expand like a balloon and then empty like a balloon on the exhale, okay? I'm going to have you close your eyes, okay? And relax your arms, your hands in a way where you feel like you're not holding any tension in your physical body, your shoulders, your neck. And many times we tend to just have so much clutter, busy thoughts. It's just, sometimes they come in like crashing waves, and sometimes those thoughts are a little calmer or somewhere in between. And I want you to visualize, a garden. This is a good place to start because you can really cultivate anything you want in this garden. And I want you to think of your busy thoughts and, the constant chatter. In yoga, we call that chitta vritti, as weeds. And think about the weeds that are there. And do you notice where they're at? How many weeds? Are you overgrown in that garden with weeds? If so, you have the power to pull those weeds, and you can clear your garden at any time with your thoughts. So imagine planting flowers. Imagine pulling those weeds and planting seeds that are of positive thoughts, possibly. Creating more space in that garden. Creating space in your mind for rest. Maybe it's a garden, a meditation garden, where you're simply just going to go and get away and let go and be in the moment. So I don't want to go too far into this meditation because we do have a show to do here. So I'm going to pull you right out.
You're going to have us asleep.
Yeah. And we do have to wrap it up. And it was so great to spend time with you all. It was to hear your perspective on grounding, and great information to be shared. So until next time, thank you for joining us with our segment on Walk into Wellness. And we will see you next time. All right, go happy earthing, grounding, enjoy the earth. Peace out.